On this episode of KAM Live, we feature T3 CEO Gurpreet, and she tells us how she's turning plastic bottles into fashion. But before that, here's the manufacturing minute.
I'm Samuel Mulu Mutisia, the County Affairs Manager at the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, whereby I lead interactions with the 40 county governments through our 7 regional chapters. One of the issues that we have been addressing at KAM is the issue of zoning, as well as the issue of land rates and fees. We have been trying to engage with the county governments, one, to ensure that they have county spatial plans in place, noting that it's only one county, Lamu, that has the same, and also trying to ensure that the counties put in place valuation laws that are up to date and recognize the investment of our manufacturers as opposed to unilateral increment of rates. We have tried to engage with Kiambu County, which ended up degazetting their rates, as well as current engagements with Singishu County, whereby our members have been involved in the preparation of the new valuation law.
Hi, my name is Gurpreet Kenth. I'm the CEO of T3, and what we do is convert this plastic bottle into this t-shirt. Oops. How we go from the bottle to the t-shirt is a fully mechanical process, so it's using heat and pressure. The first step is a 6-stage purifying process where we purify the plastic, clean it and flake it into small pieces, and then we dehumidify the flake and melt it and extrude it into a fiber, which will then be spun into a thread and either knitting or weaving into a textile and eventually be stitched into a garment. So we go from the bottle to the flakes, which look like that, to the pallets, which look like that, to the fiber. The fiber is eventually spun into a thread and knitted into a fabric, which takes you to the t-shirt. So why from PET to textile? It's a number of things that all made sense and became into one. Firstly, I was born in a family that's been using textile in the automotive industry. We've dealt with textile, so ever since I was born, I've just been seeing textile being cut, being stitched, being molded in the vehicles, either as boot lining or roof lining, so it's something I'm familiar with. And then as I grew up, I had a very keen interest in fashion. So, and my education is about environment engineering. So when all 3 of them just came together, seeing how can we make a difference in Kenya, because when I moved back to Kenya a year and a half ago, I was really upset with how we throw everything in one bin. And then having done a research paper in my final year on recycled polyester, I thought that would be something really great if we could use it and eventually put that textile back into use in Kenya. So then it all just came together and I said, but why not just make textile out of our own waste, which is now a resource for us. So usually what happens is a lot of people think it's just like your usual Coke and your water bottles, which are recyclable as PET, but we like to tell them that it's a lot more. For example, the shower gel, your hand wash, edible oils, like your edible oil, your normal glass cleaner, your Safisha, your toss, your Omo. A lot of people also don't think that the milk bottles are recyclable, but they're also made of PET. So what we don't recycle is the harder plastic, sort of like your Blue Band, the trays which you buy your vegetables in, or stuff which the fast food is packaged in, like KFC, or what you have in your kitchen for your masalas, or the hot chocolate or your jik. So anything harder than that, or code 2345 is something we don't recycle. Once we're fully operational, we will have about 200 people working in the factory, but we will have an indirect effect on about 6,000 people who will be collecting the plastic or baling it or transporting it. and the statistics we're looking at in terms of how much plastic we would recycle is equivalent to about 1.5 million bottles every day, which translates to about 25 tons a day. Yeah. We want to have a focus on the youth, the unemployed youth, and give them an opportunity to collect the plastic, be it having a collection point or having a baling center where someone can take it and bale it, or even being the transporter for the plastic. So there's so many different opportunities within the whole field, and we encourage the youth to take part in it. The challenge with waste management in Kenya, I think the biggest challenge is the fact that we are not responsible of our waste. For me, the biggest challenge is the fact that we throw everything in one bin. We don't separate the paper from the organic, the plastic, the metal. And even if we separate it, for example, at our house, if we're separating it, when the waste manager comes, they'll still pick it up in one truck and just dump it at one dump site. And in that process, we lose valuable resources. So all of this is not trash. There's so much we can make out of something once we consume it. Like the plastic, if we were separating it, once it reaches us at the plant, it would be clean, as opposed to now going back to the dump site and trying to get it back and recover material. So the solution for our challenges in Kenya regarding plastic management would be segregating at source, being more responsible of your waste. So once we capture it when it's clean, it's easier to process, because another challenge is when it gets to the plant, it's really dirty. Sometimes it's plastic that a truck has driven over like 50 times. It's full of soil, it's full of contaminants. If we could capture it once it's just been consumed and it's clean, that would be a solution to another challenge. Why it's important for Kenyans to recycle is because it's a way of life. Once you consume something, you need to have it in a circular economy. Instead of us throwing it, and the culture with Kenyans, unfortunately, is you either throw it out of your window or you burn it. So throwing it out of the window, where does it end up? It ends up in our water streams, it ends up in the ocean, it affects all the marine life. Or if you burn it, yeah, it's disappeared from here, but it gives off really harmful gases, which is even worse for the environment than had that bottle just been there. So it's really important for us to be responsible for our waste and to use it as a circular economy. So what we are trying to do is give the plastic a second life. For PET, I want people to know it's a fantastic product. You know, a lot of people, especially in Kenya, feel that plastic is bad, and we always see that single-use plastic needs to be banned and we need to change the way we're using plastic. I think plastic is a fantastic product. We need to be responsible of how we dispose it and how we recycle it. So switching to alternatives, for example, a lot of people think glass is a better option, when it's not, because glass has a huge carbon footprint to manufacture, to transport, and to reuse in the cases where it is reused. But PET, packaging is easy, transporting it is easy, using it, and just all you have to do as a Kenyan citizen is dispose it in the right place to make sure it gets to the recycler. For example, going from the Coke plant to Masai Mara, if it's PET or if it's glass, it's a huge environmental impact. So I just want people to know PET is a really good product, but we just need to be responsible with it.